Hey y'all, what's good? And welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's remember to have healthy dialogue, be respectful to ourselves and to each other, and to challenge the argument and not the person. Let's get it. On November 9th, 2017, Dezyer was crossing the street on her way to a bus stop on Babbitt Road in Euclid, Ohio, when she was struck by a vehicle driven by Lacynthia Tidmore. Although there was substantial damage to her vehicle, such that Tidmore would have known that she hit someone or something, Tidmore did not stop, did not render aid to Dezyer, and did not call 911. Instead, she drove to a nearby gas station, then went about her daily activities. Although she observed the condition of her vehicle and would have seen brain or body matter on her vehicle at the gas station, Tidmore did not return to the scene or did not seek aid for Desire. Instead, she called her mother to take her to work because her vehicle was no longer drivable. Witnesses called 911 to report the accident, and Desire was taken to the hospital where she was placed on life support. She died approximately 2 weeks later. Police contacted Tidmore after her vehicle was spotted at the gas station. Matching the description of the vehicle, witnesses described as having been involved in the accident and having caused damage consistent with the accident. She was later arrested. On December 4th, 2017, Tidmore was indicted on one count of aggravated vehicular homicide and one count of failure to stop after an accident. On April 26th, 2018, Tidmore pled guilty to both offenses. The sentencing hearing was held on May 24th, 2018. At the outset of the sentencing hearing, the trial court indicated that it had reviewed the pre-sentence investigative report, the mitigation of penalty report, the mental health eligibility report, and status updates regarding the pretrial supervision of Tidmore. The trial court then heard from Tidmore, her attorney, and the state, and several of Desire's family members. Tidmore apologized for the life she took and stated that she regretted the day and wished that she could go back and redo it. Tidmore's counsel asked for leniency in sentencing based on the fact that Tidmore was 23 years old and that she had taken responsibility by pleading guilty and that she had almost no criminal record and that she did not wake up intending to commit any crimes, and she was on her way to work like any other day when the accident occurred. Desire's great aunt and mother described the accident, and what might have been had Desire lived. They spoke of the pain they experienced from losing Desire and the lack of remorse exhibited by Tidmore following the accident. Desire's mother also described a recent altercation that allegedly occurred between Desire's family and Tidmore and her family at a local grocery store. Desire's mother stated that Tidmore and her family had tormented her and jumped her and beat her up, and that Tidmore had laughed in her face like it was a joke. The state also read letters from Desire's father, grandmother, and another family member, sharing memories of Desire and describing the anger and sorrow they felt as a result of Tidmore's actions and the loss of Desire. Desire's family requested a very harsh sentence or max punishment for Tidmore's heartless crime. The state briefly discussed the facts and circumstances surrounding the accident and requested that the trial court impose a sentence that is commensurate with this crime, keeping all things equal and recognizing that Desire was a 9-year-old little girl who had a lot to offer in this community. Prior to sentencing Tidmore, the court indicated that it had considered all this information, all the principles and purposes of felony sentencing, and all the appropriate recidivism and seriousness factors. The trial court sentenced Tidmore to 5 years in prison on count one and 36 months in prison on count two to be served consecutively for an aggregate prison term of 8 years. The trial court also imposed 3 years mandatory post release control and suspended Tidmore's driver's license for the rest of her life.
You can have a seat.
All rise. All right, please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience this morning. First of all, let me generally inform everyone here that this is a court of law. I expect respect from everyone here to everyone else here in this courtroom today. We're here under the rule of law, which requires that respect. Therefore, any outbursts, anyone speaking out of turn will be asked to leave immediately. I don't want to do that, but that will be necessary. The deputies have been instructed also to arrest anybody who gets out of order. So please, let's not have that happen today. Let's be respectful, consider the rule of law, and proceed with this matter. On the record now, we're here in open court. It is the court's criminal docket. This is case 623164. It's entitled State of Ohio versus Lacynthia A. Tidmore. Present in court is Ms. Tidmore, is that correct?
Yes.
Also present representing Ms. Tidmore, her attorney, Mr. Thomas M. Shaughnessy. Present representing State of Ohio Assistant County Prosecutor Anna Faralia, Ms. Jennifer King. We're set for sentencing today. On a prior date in court, this defendant entered a guilty plea In count 1, aggravated vehicular homicide, a felony of the 3rd degree. In count 2, failure to stop after an accident, felony of the 3rd degree. The court has ordered a pre-sentence investigative report. I've also ordered and received a mitigation penalty report. Well, there's been a mental health eligibility report which dealt with defendant's mental health. I've reviewed those reports. Mr. Shaughnessy, did a chance to look at those as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there any additions or deletions to information there?
No, Your Honor.
I've also received status updates with respect to pretrial supervision of this defendant, and I've reviewed those. Have you reviewed those as well, Mr. Shaughnessy?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Feralia, have you seen these as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you like to address court mitigation?
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Ms. Tidmore, Your Honor, first I want to say that what I'm about to say is not meant to demean the seriousness of this situation. We know there was a life lost here, and it's tragic, Your Honor. And nothing we can say can change that, can make it okay, or any better. But at this stage of the proceedings, Your Honor, we also do feel that the court needs to consider some things about Lacynthia. Your Honor, she is 23 years old. She has taken responsibility in this case. She entered a plea of guilt. Criminal activity in general is uncharacteristic for her. She has almost no criminal record, Your Honor. On the day in question, she did not wake up intending to commit any crimes. She was on her way to work like any other day when this unfortunate situation occurred. Your Honor, she never wanted to hurt anyone, and I know when she gets the opportunity to address the court, she's going to apologize. So, Your Honor, we'd ask the court to take all this into consideration when determining a sentence today. Thank you.
Ms. Tidmore, what would you like to tell the court?
Well, I'm sorry that everything happened how it happened. Like, I regret the day. I wish I could go back and redo it if I could. I mean, I'm sorry about the life that I took, and it haven't just changed the family life, but it changed my life, like, completely. It's like I'm really sorry about everything, like everything. It's some things that I wish I could go back and redo differently, and I'm truly sorry.
All right, Ms. Feralia?
Thank you, Your Honor. The victim's family is here, and they would like to address the court. The victim's mother and I believe her aunt and her cousin are going to address you. I also have some letters from the father and the grandmother that I will read to you. The state is going to call up Altia Lester.
Yes, please.
Can you please spell your name for the reporter?
Altia. Your Honor, I want to say I do not believe that she is sorry for what she did, because she could have stopped. She could have stopped and made sure that she didn't hit a kid or a dog or a cat or a rock or anything, but she didn't. I had the unfortunate opportunity to see this car right after she hit her at a gas station that I frequent every day. She had a conversation with one of my friends that works in the gas station, and at no time did my friend say she never even knew. They laughed, they joked, she paid for gas, and asked her not to call the police and have her car towed. And when I got there, I saw the police processing this car. And that's something that I have to live with every day, because I held that baby. You know, and every time she looked at me, she smiled all the time. She had so much life in her. She wanted to do stuff, and she loved her mother. And now she don't have that no more. And no matter how much time this girl get, she gonna get to come out and be with her kid or kids or her family or whatever. My niece don't have that no more. Dezyer was an only child, and she's going to be missed by us, and she was loved by us, and she had family that cared about her and cared about everything she did and about everything that she was going to be. I pray for my niece every day because she is struggling right now. There's a lot of days she wake up and she don't want to be here. What are we supposed to do? How can we help her with this? It's nothing that I can say that's going to help her. And I buried 2 of my kids back to back. So I know how she feels. But I don't know that feeling that she feels, and I wouldn't wish that on nobody. Her words mean nothing to me. Nothing to me. Just by her, the way she stand here, and it's nothing. It's nothing, not a tear shed. You don't feel bad about anything. It's just unfortunate that you got caught. That's where they're angry at now, is because she got caught. But what about us? What about Dezyr's family? You know, what about her mother and how she's going to have to spend the rest of her life trying to deal with somebody that was texting and driving when you should have been paying attention? Because honestly, she didn't have to be the only kid. It was more kids out there that morning. She could have hit 2 or 3 kids and she still would have kept going. So I'm begging you to please take into consideration how we feel and how my niece feels and what she's going through right now, because it's not going to end for her.
Thank you.
Siobhan Smith.
Good morning. Can you please spell your name and record it, please?
S-I-O, B as in boy, H-A-N. Your Honor, I do not feel that Lacynthia is remorseful, not one bit. That day that she hit Dezyer, not one time did she stop. She had people behind her blowing, telling her, you are about to hit a child. Not one time did she slow down, put her phone down, nothing. She knew that she hit a child. I was at the hospital that morning. I got a phone call at work. I left work to go to the hospital to be with her. She made a phone call to her family, her sister, knowingly that she hit Dezyer, and told her sister this. Knowingly went to work and called a ride to go to work. She had no intentions on turning herself in. She had no intentions on stopping. She had no intentions on being caught with this accident. Not one time do I feel she is remorseful at all. Nobody hits somebody saying that they hit a cone and don't stop. I don't care if you hit a rock. You're going to stop to see if something is wrong with your car. You knew something was wrong with your car. You had a whole piece of your car missing. You can't possibly tell me that you driving like that not knowing that something is going on. She changed lives that day. Not one life, she changed lives that day. That day, my Dezyer was supposed to be with me for that weekend. I had to wake up that next day explaining to my kids, where was Dezyer? Why Dezyr's not coming over? Do you know how hard it is to explain to kids that they're not coming back at all? Not one time. She just out here living her life on social media, gallivanting around like there's a part, like everything is okay. There's nothing okay about this situation at all. You should not be able to be on social media and thinking that this is a joke and a game and then you get mad. No, you act like we're bothering you, that we disrupted your life. You disrupted our lives. It's not fair to her mother. It's not fair that she should have to go through this, spend her holidays, birthdays, not having her child there at all. But it was okay for you to call and let people know what you did, and then turn around and act like you didn't know what you did. You knew exactly what you did. So I feel that she should get time in jail. I don't feel that she should see her kids. If she see her kids, I feel like she should have to see her kids behind bars. I don't feel like she should be getting any privileges. This house arrest has done nothing for her at all. This whole time she's been on house arrest, she's been running the streets, on social media, just living. Not one time did she act like she was sorry. You don't laugh in a mother's face like it's okay. It's not a joke and it's not a game.
Thank you.
And Ms. Twyla Austin Williamson is going to address you.
Spell your first name.
Twyla, T-W-Y-L-A. Dezyer Ramirez Mays, wonderful little girl. She affected a lot of people's lives. She was a straight A student. She loved school. She loved to dance. She loved to sing. She was very respectful and very mature for her age. I was very hard on her because I know how society is. At the age of 9, she knew how to cook, she could clean, she could wash dishes. She was so excited to turn 10 because we had this big party planned for her. She was not playing in the street. She was crossing the street to go to her bus stop. We live on Babbitt. I don't understand what I am going through. I am seeing a psychiatrist. I am on 3 different medications. I tried to kill myself. This is just so unfair. And I would have some type of sympathy for Lacynthia if she just would have stopped. The accident had already happened. She broke my daughter's neck. That is how my daughter died. She died on the scene. She was in the hospital for 15 days because I couldn't let her go. When they caught dead on arrival means she died at the scene. She broke both of my daughter's femurs. She slashed from the inside out. She broke every bone in my daughter's face. Every tooth in the front of her face was gone. Her chin was split wide open. Her eyes was bulging out of her head. Her neck was broken. You had to be speeding. No way you was doing 30 miles. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. My daughter leaves out the house at 6:53. Her father leaves right before her. I work night shift. We practiced this for a whole week. So I know my daughter knew how to cross the streets a whole week before this happened. This was the first day that I let her go anywhere by herself. And so y'all don't understand the type of mother that I am. I stopped my life for my daughter and my whole life for my child. She was a good kid. And everybody that she crossed loved her. The school stopped stopped for all the kids to go to her funeral. This is not fair to me. As a driver, you are obligated to pay attention. Not only your license was suspended when you were driving to begin with, you didn't even have insurance. I don't have no money. I'm an STNA. I won't work my butt off. I don't get child support. I don't get anything. I never went to child support. I took the responsibility once I left her father. That was that. And I raised my daughter for 8 years by myself with the support of these people that you see. These are not just people just coming out the woodwork. These are people who know Dezyer, who loves Dezyer, who was in her life. She had 9 birthdays, and my cousin was at every last birthday. Her kids was at every last birthday. I don't have that anymore. I can't hold my daughter. I can't yell at her. I can't put her on punishment. I don't have any more kids. And for you to just disregard, you knew what you did, how your tire fell off, your bumper was off. A cone not gonna do that. I don't care that it was construction, a little couple of minutes. A cone wouldn't have done that. A car was, RTA Transit was behind her and blew because they seen my daughter. How you didn't see her? So you that into your phone? Somebody's behind you blowing, warning you that you finna hit my child. You killed her on the scene. There was no tire marks in the streets. You kept going. Then you called either your mother, your sister, I don't know who you called, but you called for a ride. You went into the gas station. You paid $10 for gas. You was on the phone calling a tow truck. And you took your butt to work like my daughter was not nothing. How didn't you know when you hit something, boom, 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 you're not going to look up and look in your rearview mirror? My daughter hit your windshield. You didn't see that my daughter was 70 pounds. You didn't feel that? You didn't run her over. You hit her and she flew. And she hit the curb and broke her neck. My daughter's eyes was protruding out of her face. She was lifeless. They gave her that shot for her heart to start beating. That's why I had her for 15 days. 2 extra days because I decided to save another child's life and donated her organs. I wear my daughter's ashes around my neck. That's not something. My daughter's birthday is coming up. She gets to see her children. Not only that, Monday, this is why my eye is like this. Why did I even have to cross paths with her at Arby's when I live on Babbitt? Why is she tormenting me like I killed her child? If you was paying attention, this would have never happened. Period. And then for you to be tormenting me, talking about some you don't want no wreck, I didn't even know that was her. I don't go following her. My family's not tormenting her. If we wanted to retaliate, we could have. Her records are open. It's public records. I did it the right way, and I did it by the law, and it still didn't go as planned. Why do she have the leisure to still go to work, to still see her children, to still live, to be on Sisters This Your Man group on Facebook arguing over her boyfriend that kicked me in my face? How are you sorry? When you see me in the grocery store, you should have turned around and walked out. You didn't do that. You said you don't want no wreck. I didn't even know this was her. I'm not paying her no attention. I'm in a grocery store. I don't even go to the grocery store. I just so happen to do that. I don't do anything. I haven't worked. I haven't done nothing. But I have to sit here and look at this woman who killed my daughter, and she laughed in my face like it was a joke. How is that sorry? If I was her, if you didn't walk away, at least you could have been like, Dwight, I know you know my name because you clearly know my face.
So you could have like, I'm sorry, Twyla. You could have gave me a hug. You could have came to the hospital. I'm not that type of person. You did none of that. I would have had some type of compassionate because you are a mother, because you are young. So I would have had some compassionate for you, some type of sympathy for you. But you just disregard him. You're not sorry. You pleading guilty to make a show. This is a show for her. Because when we came to court April 9th, she stood right there and right here. And when you said, willingly knowing that you hit a child, she looked at her lawyer and said, I didn't know I hit her. How didn't you know? You might not have known initially because you were texting. But once that car hit my daughter, you knew. You didn't run her over. She fell on the top of your car, rolled over your windshield. Your car was undrivable, but you kept going till you made it to 185th gas station. You went to work. You had no intentions of turning yourself in. The only reason why you turned yourself in is because the lady that was at the scene followed you to the gas station and called Euclid police. That's why. I don't owe you anything. I don't want no apology because you should have apologized at the scene and I would have been way more lenient. She needs to get the max that she can get consecutively. Whatever that is, 1 to 3, 1 to 5, that's 8 years. You really need to get more than that. Because when you see me in the grocery store, how are you sorry? How can you change the hands of times when you initiated a fight? How is that sorry? That's not sorry. When you seen me, I didn't see you. So when you seen me, you should have walked away. You shouldn't have been coming talking about some I don't want no wreck. You got the wrong one. Because I could have retaliated. I didn't. I could have went to your mama's house. I could have went to your sister's house. I didn't do none of that. I let the law handle it in the honor of my daughter. Because I know my daughter won't want me behind bars. The type of mother that I am, I don't play no games about my daughter. My daughter is very respectful. You can ask any teacher, anybody. She's not one of these little bad, rowdy kids. She's not like that. And even if she was, she still don't deserve to die. She can't bring my daughter back because of the injuries that she sustained. And I get that. What I'm saying is, as a human, as a mother, because what type of mother are you? You probably don't even got custody of your kids. So what type of mother, you have children of your own, will keep going. Once you hit her, you should have stopped. You could have been at the hospital praying with us. You could have gave me a hug. You could have said, I'm sorry. And I would have took that. And I would have prayed with her. But you didn't do that. Then you want to talk about you incompetent. How are you incompetent but you steady on the internet? Your sister make a Facebook post just after this happened, calling people, talking about they beat me up at Arby's. Y'all don't know who. Cleveland is big, but it's small. You're on Facebook writing statuses about who coming to court with us. So what y'all gonna do at court? This sorry that she's saying, she's not sorry. This is all a show. Because somebody that's sorry, when she seen me in that grocery store, first of all, there's no contact, so she should have left. And why is she driving? Why is she driving? She drove away. Why are you tormenting me? I didn't kill your children. You killed my daughter. You sit up here playing on your phone, playing in your pocket, all blue in your hair like that. You should be in this courtroom crying. You should be remorseful. You should have some empathy as a mother to mother. She don't have no empathy. She doesn't have no sympathy. She doesn't have no morals. And she really do not care. And that's how I honestly, truly feel. But if she would have came at me a different type of way, I probably would be on her side saying, be lenient. I can't do that with a person like that. No way in hell can I pray for her. I can't. I would have. All she had to do was stop. Or instead of calling a ride to pick her up from the gas station, she could have called the police. Clearly she got a cell phone, right? Because she texting and driving, right? So you didn't even call the police. You just disregard who hit somebody and don't look in their rearview mirror, or who hit something and not look up. So I'm just asking you, I'm begging you, parent to parent, it's unacceptable. Nobody understands how I feel. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, she needs to get the max that she can get. Because if she would have came at it a whole different way, I would be right with her, praying for her, and asking you not to give her the max. I even would have changed my story, but once Monday happened, I know she is not sorry. Period. Her and her boyfriend and her sister jumped me. How are you sorry?
Thank you.
Your Honor, there are some other family members that are not able to be here, so I have provided the court with the letters, and they wanted me to read this in open court. The first letter is from her grandmother, and it says, Honorable Judge Corrigan, good morning. My name is Mrs. Mays, Dezyr's grandmother. I'm sorry I could not come due to a recent surgery, but please let Miss Tidmore know that I can't forget her due to the fact that you hit my granddaughter and left her there to die. Why? You went to park your car, you left the scene of the accident, you went to work. May 5th to 6 days later, your conscience was tearing you apart as to where you couldn't perform your job duties. That was God saying to you, you realize you hit this child and left. Well, while you left, Dezyer was fighting for her life all the way up to November 21st, 2017. That's when she got tired of fighting and God came to take Dezyer home with him. She never had a chance to grow old with her family, especially her sister and brothers. You're such a coward. It was hard for the family, especially her mom and dad. You were definitely a coward. Maybe if you had stopped to help Dezyer, she would still be here. It's sad to say, whatever sentence is handed down to you, you're going to do, then get out to be with your kids. Dezyr's mom and dad and stepdad will never see her again. The entire family, my heart aches every single day for your actions of being a coward. May God have mercy on your soul. You need to turn to Dezyr's mother and apologize to her deeply. Glory to God. Mrs. Mays. This is from, I believe it's a child, Your Honor, it's Laria Mays, and it says, Honorable Judge Corrigan, what I feel about the situation is that she wasn't probably paying attention, because if she was, it would never have happened, and Dezyer would still be here. I miss Dezyer. I think about her every day, but I smile and I try and keep a smile. But sometimes it's hard to smile after you lose someone you loved. But I just sit back and think about the good times we had so I can feel like she's standing right next to me. I feel sad, but there's nothing I can do because she's already gone and with God, and I can't bring her back to life. I remember when we were playing with the dolls and a whole bunch of stuff that comes with playing with dolls. And we talked to them, we took them everywhere, and we acted like we went out to eat and with them, and it was funny. When she got her phone, we were sitting next to each other, and we didn't stop laughing for the whole night. One day, her and my brother was trying to teach me how to drive on the game, and it was not working out because I was turning the controller too many times. I thought the car was going to move, but it never did. So they were laughing at me, and I remember Dezyer always laughing. And the last one, Your Honor, is from Dezyr's father. If it may please this court, my name is Lariat Mays, and I am Dezyer Mays' father. This has been really hard to digest. Dezyer was at my house 2 to 3 weeks before she was taken away from her big sister, 2 big brothers, and 3 little brothers. That's truly missing her, and it still bothers them to this day, and the family and friends. Can you in the courtroom today imagine how I felt after being awakened out of my sleep with the news that my daughter was run over by a car on her way to school? I jumped out of bed in a panic, put on my clothes as fast as I could. I jumped in my car and drove to the hospital. That was the longest drive of my life. I was wondering what happened, how this happened, why her, and I even started praying to God that my baby was okay. I was thinking those thoughts that made me angry, but yet made my tears form from the fear of the worst. I get to the hospital and the worst is happening. My daughter is on life support, holding on for her life. The only thing that is saving her is a machine. Seeing Dezyer in the hospital bed made me think really hard about the type of father I was to her. I again asked God why, and then started to be honest with myself about the type of father I was. I wasn't the best father to her, but we were starting to build a relationship. I was able to see her the day after her birthday, and we enjoyed being around each other. To my surprise, she asked me to take her to the father-daughter walk at her school. To be honest, I teared up because my daughter was really allowing me to grow a relationship with her. But now she's gone. She's gone, and I will never have the chance to build that father-daughter relationship. Dezyer was taken from her family by a remorseless Lacynthia Tidmore. Miss Tidmore has no sympathy for my daughter. I still jump up in fear when my phone rings early in the morning. I still see Dezyer in the hospital bed, suffering, breathing from a machine. Dezyer was a victim of a hit and run, and then left for dead. Dezyer, my baby, was a 9-year-old little girl trying to go to school and receive an education. She was trying to make something out of herself. My daughter was loved by so many and had such a bright future. Now all we can do is wonder if the tragedy never happened. Wonder if Dezyer would have liked the new song on the radio. Wonder if she would have gotten straight A's on a report card, or even wonder if she would have went to the big school dance. Yeah, I skipped years, but thanks to Miss Tidmore, my family can never wonder. There is no reality for our question. She was taken. I would also like to say I'm sorry to her mother, Miss Twyla Austin. I know I haven't been the best, and I know we don't see eye to eye on nothing at all. We do agree that we both love Dezyer, and we agree that Miss Tidmore deserves a very harsh to max punishment for her heartless crime. I also believe that Dezyer has been watching over both of us and would love if her mom and I can find an equal sense of peace. Thank you, Your Honor, and thanks to the ladies and gentlemen that came to the courtroom to represent my daughter. My name is Lariat Mays, the father of Dezyer, and as an entire family, we pray for her justice. Your Honor, on behalf of the state of Ohio, the principles and purposes of sentencing are to punish the offender and protect the public. These cases are always the most tragic cases, when a child's life is lost. The tragedy here is that Ms. Tidmore didn't stop. She didn't render any aid. And she proceeded on her daily activities. And for that, she will have to pay for that through her sentence. And I agree with Ms. Austin. When she stopped at the gas station, She saw the condition of her vehicle, and she saw the brain matter that was on the vehicle. As a result of that, again, she will have to pay for her actions. And the state of Ohio would respectfully request that you impose the sentence that is commiserate with this crime, Your Honor, keeping all things equal. She was a 9-year-old little girl who had a lot to offer in this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, the court has considered all this information, all the principles and purposes of felony sentencing, all the appropriate recidivism and seriousness factors, and these cases are always tragic. When a life is lost, there's never a good reason. There's never sense that can be found in what happened. It's always senseless. When the death is a child, it's even more hurtful, more tragic, because of all the things that could have been. We can't live in a world of could have beens. We're here with what's occurred. And I completely understand how the hearts of the family members of Dezyer are hardened with vengefulness and retribution, hatefulness, because of your actions, because of what you did, because you didn't stop. And you can see how it's so easy to read in all kinds of things in your mind because you didn't stop, because of your actions that day, because you walked away from your car after you saw the type of damage that was on your vehicle. This court can only hope that the family can replace those hardened hearts over time with memories of the joy of Dezyer and the time he had, and to find some other higher purpose that can bring some good to some part of your family, your community. It's not going to happen today, tomorrow. It's going to take time. And that's the only hope I can provide to the family. The law is completely inadequate. There's no way the law can replace a life. It's inadequate. There's nothing we can do. The legislature has determined what kind of consequences should follow when this type of act is committed. And I'm going to follow that legislative guidance. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. This case and your actions and the way you've comported yourself during this case tends to show me that the family's correct, that you don't have real remorse.
Thank you.
And that consecutive sentences are necessary to punish you. And it is not just proportionate to what you did in this case. And I'm further finding that the harm in this matter is so great or unusual that a single term just is not adequate to reflect the seriousness of what you did. Based on all the facts of this case, incorporating the information from the pre-sentence investigative report, and your conduct on that day. Therefore, I will impose consecutive sentences. In count 1, the aggravated vehicular homicide, it's a felony of the 3rd degree, 5 years at the higher reformatory for women. In count 2, failing to stop after an accident, 36 months in the higher reformatory for women. Those will run consecutive to each other. Your driver's license is suspended for life. You're also assessed 6 points on your driver's license. I have considered everything in this matter. Your jail time credit will be applied to your sentence. Document indicates 3 days jail time credit. You're responsible for your costs before you may be required to do community work service. You do have a right to appeal your sentence, this sentence, and your convictions. If you are indigent, let the court know within 30 days, I'll provide a transcript and an attorney at state's expense. Post-release control is mandatory part of the sentence for this felony of the 3rd degree. It's 3 years mandatory post-release control. Upon your release, you will be supervised by the Ohio Adult Parole Authority for 3 years. You must follow the rules of the Parole Authority. If you fail to follow their rules, they have the power to send you back to prison for a total of up to 50% of this 8-year sentence. Any violation of the Parole Authority's rules could result in a residential sanction, which could include an prison term up to 9 months. The rules on post-release control will require you to report to a parole officer. If you fail to report, the Parole Authority can punish you by sending you back to prison. You're also subject to being indicted on a separate felony called escape. That means the judge assigned to the new indictment could also punish you with time in prison, even if the Parole Authority punished you for the same thing for not reporting the prison term. That's true of any other felony you might commit on post-release control. If you are convicted of a felony when you're on post-release control, sentencing court will have an option to impose a consecutive prison term for the amount of time remaining on post-release control or 12 months, whichever is greater. For the record, this is a Class 2 driver's license suspension. Is there anything else the court needs to put on the record, Ms. Farley?
No, not on behalf of the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Shaughnessy?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Senator Manning.
The first 8 that are going to go down, you're going to go with Deputy That's all.
You all did wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.